Okay, hi, Mr. Nik Zafri. Welcome to our talk. Okay, first of all, let me introduce myself. Okay, Assalamu'alaikum again, and a very good afternoon to all. Okay, I am Madam Tetty Henney binti Zulkifli, Managing Principal of Noma.swo a consultancy firm dedicated to developing innovative strategies for a better world via its program of high impact consultancy and training. Sustainable development plays a significant part in our daily lives. With 17 goals listed by United Nations, they are aimed to make our world a better place to live. Many initiatives have been done to ensure sustainable development achieved at all walks of life, disregarding their religion, race, status, or origin. One of them is known as Industrial Symbiosis. With us today is Mr. Nik Zafri Abd Majid, who will talk briefly about the subject. Okay, first of all, so thank you again, Mr. Nik, for being with us today. This
It's
is
my
my
pleasure.
first question. What is industrial symbiosis?
Okay, first of all, Walaikum Salam. First of all, I'd like to thank Madam Tetty for inviting me to this session. I would like to also express my appreciation and credit to European Union, EU, for the materials that I'm about to present on industrial symbiosis. So to answer your question, industrial symbiosis is basically a good practice relevant to European Capital Award indicators. So the indicators are sustainable urban mobility, waste, water, green growth, and eco-innovation, energy performance, and governance. So when we talk about governance in the context of industrial symbiosis, it means that industries that has embarked on the concept of industrial symbiosis should be transparent in their activities. Transparent means not only to the stakeholders but also to the general public. So industrial symbiosis is more on the public interest. They have to be accountable and responsible for what they are practicing, the manufacturing process that they are practicing. So governance here is a very strong word. It is also the core for the industrial symbiosis. So many thought that industrial symbiosis is actually talking about recycling, but most recycling do not take into account of measurement of greenhouse gas emission, GHG emission. But industrial symbiosis actually gives a more vast meaning. It is a process which waste and byproducts of an industry or industrial process become the raw material for another. So unlike many recycling manufacturing or recycling industry, they do not measure the greenhouse emission, which does not comply to what industrial symbiosis is all about. So application of this concept, industrial symbiosis, allows materials to be used in a more sustainable way and contributes to the creation of a circular economy. Circular economy means that it benefits others, economically speaking.
Okay,
So in a way,
mm-hmm.
it gives a new meaning to recycling.
All right. A very clear answer to my first question. And this is my second question. How does industrial symbiosis work?
So how does industrial symbiosis work? Actually, it creates an interconnected network which strive to mimic the functioning of ecological system. So within which energy and material cycle continually with no waste product produced. So this is what happening in our ecological system. So they try to mimic take example from ecological system to be incorporated in the industries. So this process serves to reduce the environmental footprint of the industries involved. virgin raw materials are required to a lesser degree, and the need for landfill waste disposal is reduced. So it also allows value to be created from materials that would otherwise be discarded. And so the materials remain economically valuable for longer than the traditional industrial system. That's why I've been saying there is a difference between conventional recycling and industrial symbiosis.
Okay, let's move on to our third question. What are some of the examples of industrial symbiosis, Mr. Nik?
Okay, I can think of few. Elsewhere in the world, example of industrial symbiosis are wide-ranging actually. They include the waste heat from one industry to warm greenhouses for food production, the recovery of car tire shavings for use in the construction materials, and the use of sludge from fish farms as agricultural fertilizer. So in Malaysia, the efforts have been made for years by many corporations in an effort to achieve industrial symbiosis, hence achieving sustainable development goals. For example, turning waste into energy, okay, and also seawater reverse osmosis or desalination. So these are some of the examples of industrial symbiosis in the context of industry.
All right, thank you, Mr. Nik. Okay, I guess this is our final question. What are the benefits of industrial symbiosis?
Okay, when we talk about benefits, uh, whichever industry is being audited or assessed whether they have reached industrial symbiosis or not, they must have evidence that shows that the benefits has been relayed to all the stakeholders and interested parties. Among others, the benefits are reduction of environmental impact of waste through recovery, reuse, and recycling. Biostabilization reduces the environmental impacts and risks associated with waste that are sent to landfill. A creation of economic value from waste material, reduction of GHG, greenhouse gas, emissions from waste transport and raw material extraction, reduction of reliance on fossil fuel, which is quite important, decrease the emission of NOx, nitrogen oxide, sulfur dioxide, and carbon dioxide. So extension of knowledge and practical know-how, this is another benefit, of how waste management can be transformed into a sustainable growth and oriented business. Please be reminded that, as I said before, I like to reiterate that all these things are subject to an assessment. So the assessment also will involve, like for example, if you want to measure greenhouse gases, you need a certain device and equipment to do that. And it also linked to energy auditing as well. So that's about all. We are only talking about the concept. Actually, it's a much larger subject, but we are talking only about the concept of industrial symbiosis.
Okay. Actually, I am very clear now about what is industrial symbiosis, and I guess everyone who listened to our talk is also clear and understand briefly about our topic today. So I guess that's all the time we have now. Thank you, Mr. Nik Zafri, for explaining to us on the concept of industrial symbiosis. All right, to those who wish to know more about the information about this topic or more about Mr. Nik Zafri, our speaker, we will share you our email and website link that will be appear on our screen later. So again, Mr. Nik Zafri, we thank you very much for having you with us in our talk today. So I hope that we can have another discussion again in the near future. Thank you, Mr. Nik Zafri.
It's my pleasure. Yes, it's my pleasure.
Okay, so Ramadan Kareem. All right. Bye bye.